and welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this YouTube video. My name is Michelle and welcome to my channel called Michelle the Mystic. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you about the top 4 spiritual practices or rituals that you guys should be doing or that you should have already in your life on your spiritual journey this far. So if you guys are interested in finding out more information about different spiritual practices and things you guys should be doing on your spiritual journey, obviously keep watching all the way to the end. Now, I need to throw out a little disclaimer here that all of these things that I talk about in my videos, and especially in this video, these are my opinions. These are things that I've gathered, things that I've learned on my spiritual journey this far. I can't speak for the entire spiritual community saying that these 4 things you must implement into your life. So take whatever I say with a grain of salt. Whatever I say about my spiritual journey and about the things that I've experienced and the things that you could possibly be going through is not set in stone. Take it with a grain of salt and take what resonates and leave the rest. So with all that being said, let's get on to the first main spiritual practice. So the first main point, and arguably the most important spiritual practice that I think anybody on their spiritual journey should have, is some type of alignment or some type of reset practice. And for me, this is a spiritual morning ritual practice that I do that is arguably the majority of my morning routine. And I incorporate it in the morning specifically because when I say an alignment or reset, what I'm talking about here is meditation, prayer, yoga, breath work, anything that will allow you to reset your mind, body, and spirit and connect with your spirit guides, connect with your spiritual team, and connect with your higher self and the universe. So when we're talking about aligning, we're realigning with our higher self, with our higher purpose. This practice allows you to sit in silence, to listen to your intuition, to remember who your soul is, to really connect on a divine level to your divinity, to your connection to the universe, and all things that are spiritual. And so having this first thing in the morning reminds us of the existence and the divinity that we truly have and the power of our souls and our mission here on earth. And so all of these things are a beautiful way to start your morning, to remember your purpose, to remember your soul, to remember who you are. And then once you go out into the world, you're able to carry that throughout the rest of the day. And also it helps you reset your mind and refresh from everything that happened yesterday, that happened the night before, or even already happened that morning. So it allows you to just sort of refresh, to reset, and to come back to your original state of being. So for me and my spiritual morning routine, sometimes I can't get it in the morning. And so if you have a flexible schedule, make sure that you do this at least once a day. And even if it's just meditating for about 15 minutes or 20 minutes, even if you can't do the whole thing, kind of cut it up into pieces and try to do the majority of it. Try to do as much as you can. So my morning routine, a lot of it, majority of it, it goes to this spiritual practice, which takes about 45 to 50 minutes for me. So it's a combination of a little bit of yoga, doing some sun salutations. I do breath work and meditation with this type of meditation called Sudarshan Kriya Yoga. And then sometimes I even also set my intention for the day or set my intention for my meditation, and then I follow that up with a silent meditation, or sometimes I'll listen to music and I'll meditate that way, or I'll do some type of chakra frequency alignment, only about 10 minutes. So if I don't make time any other time in the day to do a designated meditation that's 20 minutes or plus, then this is my time to reset. This is the only time that I give myself to connect. So this beautiful morning routine, I really hope that you guys implement something. Obviously, it doesn't have to be anything close to what I have. If you only have a couple minutes, try to do what you can with your time, because I promise you, if you commit to it, it's going to change your life. It's going to change the way that you show up for yourself. It's going to change the way that you show up for other people in the world. You're going to have a lot more trust in yourself, knowing that, yes, I've been doing this morning routine without fail every single day, no matter what, for 100 days, 200 days, for a whole year, and I can trust myself, and it's changed my life. So this is the main thing that I wanted to talk about in this video. Obviously, I have 3 other spiritual practices to cover, but this is the one that I really hope that everybody starts to implement. The second spiritual practice that I think a lot of people should have in their spiritual journey or should be doing on a regular basis is some type of grounding practice. Now, we all know, or I hope that you know, that when you're on this spiritual journey, when you are ascending, when you are awakening, it's really important for you to stay grounded and to ground and continue to practice grounding as a physical human being here on this earth, because we can get really carried away and go too intense with the spiritual stuff and forget that we actually are physical beings and we have a physical body here on earth, and we're supposed to be doing stuff in the 3D, in this physical reality. And it goes without saying that a great way to ground is to go out into nature. So I'm going to give you guys a couple different ideas for some stuff that you can put into a spiritual practice. You might not think of it as a spiritual practice, that you're going out into nature and you're going for a walk, you're getting some exercise or whatever it is, but it really is putting you back into your physical body. And that's what I think about when I think of grounding, is that you remember your physical density and you are really present in your physical body. So a lot of these grounding practices focus on your senses as a human being and being present in the present moment. So when you go out into nature, you can go for a walk and be very mindful of the things that you're seeing, the color of the trees, the way that the wind is blowing, and the birds or the people that you're surrounded by, the sounds, the smells. What does it feel like when the wind brushes your skin? Pay attention to these details. Some other things that I like to do in nature when I'm trying to ground, if I can't get to a park or I can't get to any place that has grass or trees or some type of plant, then a quick way to ground myself is to just take a look up at the sky. And if there are clouds, what do the clouds look like? Just give them a second, watch what's going on in the sky, pay attention to the color of the sky, if it's beautiful blue or if the sun is setting. Something that is going on in the sky can really help you remember your presence, remember your mission here on earth, and put you into a higher perspective. And lastly, for me, I find it very comforting to be around a body of water. It doesn't have to be a large body of water, but sitting near the water reminds me of the fluidity of life, of creativity, of my emotions. It allows me to tap into something other than my physical body here on earth, and it can be very calming. The sound of the water, the way that it looks, if there are ducks or geese in the water, watching those animals enjoy the water, enjoy their natural surroundings. A couple other ways that you can ground or incorporate a grounding practice into your life. Doesn't always have to be going out into nature, although I recommend that just because nature is very healing. Do things that put you back into your physical body to remember the feeling of your physical body, and this usually involves movement. So we're thinking exercise here. If you're a runner, you can go running, you can go biking, but just starting to move your body in any way really help you put yourself back into your body and allow you to stop thinking so much, stop overthinking, and to be present and to have gratitude for the present moment. The third spiritual practice that I highly recommend you guys incorporate or start doing in your spiritual journey is to have some type of expansion practice. So I didn't really think too much of this at first. All of these ideas came to me a couple days ago when I was writing on my computer the different spiritual practices that I currently do and some that I want to start doing. And in this process, I realized that I've already implemented and do all 4 of these practices, but I didn't call them practices before. The only one that I recognized as a practice was my morning spiritual routine ritual. And after that, I realized that there are other things that people who are on a spiritual journey need to do. People need to learn how to ground. People need to learn how to expand their consciousness, how to expand their mind. So that's directly what this point is talking about, is to expand my consciousness to higher understandings, remember my truth, and continue learning and aligning spiritually. So that's what I imagined when I wrote down an expansion practice. So this is kind of pushing your boundaries in terms of spirituality, things that you want to learn, things that you want to try. So for me, there are a list of different things that I'm really excited to learn about, that I want to try, that are related to spirituality. So I'll give you some examples. So astral traveling, Reiki, like moon magic and moon energy, doing more meditations with crystals and understanding more about crystals, past life regressions or past memory recall, the 4 elements and like magic and that kind of stuff, like energy protection rituals, and then learning more about like my dreams. Like those are all things that are going to that I want to learn about spiritually, that are going to push my limits and help me to learn more about my truth and my soul and my mission and my purpose here. And there are a couple different things also that I wanted to mention that you can do for an expansion practice. So if you're just starting out with meditation, then continue doing meditation, but there are these things called transmission meditations, which are essentially just longer meditations that helped you to get information, downloads, or light codes, or whatever you want to think of it, from the universe, that will help you along your mission, that will help you to continue awakening, different ways you can channel and directly communicate with the spiritual realm. So you can use tarot cards, you can use a pendulum, and things like reading other spiritual books, talking to people in a spiritual community. All of these things are ways to expand your consciousness, to expand your mind, and to give yourself the opportunity to put yourself in new environments and learn your truth and learn your purpose, and to start sharing that with the world. And the last spiritual practice that I think everybody should have, or most people should have in their spiritual journey, is some type of healing practice or healing ritual. So most of us know that when you go on a spiritual journey or have a spiritual awakening, a lot of times we can go through what's called the dark night of the soul, which is a period of time that could last for months or years, where you're really doing a lot of inner work. You're doing a lot of healing, you're doing a lot of shadow work, understanding the aspects and parts of you that are not essentially super awesome, that you hide from, that are ego driven, those kinds of things. And everybody has a shadow side to them, a side that doesn't really work well with other people or is really that awesome. And doing a lot of that inner work requires a method, a way that you can heal, a process that you can go about doing these things and decoding your behavior, decoding your thoughts, and start moving into alignment with your higher self. Typical ways that people like to heal or people like to do inner work are some types of writing. So if you enjoy journaling, then you can get out a physical book and you can spend time journaling, 30 minutes, an hour, write down your thoughts on paper. And usually what I find is that I actually ask a question to myself on paper and I'm able to answer it by the end and feel a lot better about the thing that I have asked a question about, and have a lot of clarity on my situation and the way that I'm feeling. It allows you to understand your emotions better, to label them, to put them in a box, to understand your triggers and when you're going to feel them, and to understand how you can go about processing all of those emotions. Your healing journey and your healing practice is learning how to process the things that are happening in your life and to understand that these are happening for you. All of the things that you go through in life help you to grow if you choose to look at it from that perspective. Everything helps you to grow and everything helps you to learn. And so you must have a way to understand and decode experiences and situations and learn to heal from those and learn to get the lessons and then to move on. So that's what this healing practice is really essentially for, is to help you learn. Other ways that you can heal: you can allow the time and space for you to feel your emotions, whether that be anger, sadness, crying. If you have no physical reaction to it, that's fine too. Allowing yourself and understanding the triggers and giving yourself the necessary tools and the necessary space and time to process those. You might enjoy talking to a friend or even going to therapy and sharing your messages and your experiences out loud to someone else who can listen. So these are all the practices that I think a lot of people should have and should be doing in their spiritual journey. Have some type of way to connect with yourself, your higher self, and the universe and divine source. Have a way to stay grounded in your present and your physical body that allows you to nurture yourself. Have a way to expand your consciousness and expand your mind to allow you to learn and grow new things and talk to new people, and allow yourself the ability and time and space to heal from your shadow side, your traumas, anything that you experience in your life. And remember that the goal of these spiritual practices is to help you connect and to help you remember your divinity as a soul here on this earth. And so if you do any of these things and you feel that connection, I am so happy for you, and I hope that you continue. So that is all I have for you guys in this video today. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for clicking on this video and watching it all the way to the end. I am a new YouTuber, so I would really appreciate it if you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone else you think would also like it and would resonate with these messages. And if you resonate with my messages and any of the other videos I've created on this channel or this channel in general, please subscribe to my channel and tune back in for some new videos in the upcoming weeks. I would really love to grow my community, and I would love for you to be there with me.